Well, it's time again to inflict on you another joke of the day, and we're all here today ready to just bring on the chuckles. At any rate, it seems that there was this fellow who liked to frequent, shall we say, the local watering hole. He kind of had his favorite bar stool, and he would go down there from time to time, and in the evening mostly, and drink for a while, and then go home. This particular afternoon, late evening, he had started drinking a little earlier than usual, and it was a little later than usual, and he had had plenty to drink. In fact, the bartender came to him and said, you've you've had a little bit too much here, Bill. You need to go home. You spent enough time here sucking up the alcohol." Bill said, "No, I got plenty of room for more. Bring it on." Bartender said, No, we're cutting you off. It's time for you to go home. "Do you want me to call you a cab?" "No, I can walk from here. I just live a couple of blocks up the street." "Well," he said, "then I suggest you head on home." Bill said, "Well, I'm just telling you, I'm not that drunk." He said, "Well, there's the door. Find your way out." So Bill mumbled something about how awful he was being treated, and what a good customer he was, and he didn't deserve what was going on. And finally he stood to his feet, and he held on to the back of the stool for a moment. He turned around and just pop right on the floor, flat on his face. Bartender said, "See, I told you. You need to go home." "Well," he said, "I don't think I do, but I'm going to go." And he tried to get up and he'd fall down. He'd try to get up and he'd fall down. Finally, he resigned himself to just dragging himself with his arms over to the door, and he got a hold of the handle of the door, and he pulled himself back up, and he opened the door. And when he let go of the door, plop, he fell out on the sidewalk. He tried to get up 2 or 3 more times. It just wasn't going to happen, so he started dragging himself down the sidewalk, mumbling about the terrible bartender, and maybe he should have took the cab, and just grumble. Anyway, he finally made it to his front door, fished his keys out, reached up and unlocked the lock. He knew by now his wife was already in bed, and she was not going to be happy about the way he had done this. But he drug himself into the house and pushed the door to, and thought about it a minute. There was the sofa right in front of him, and he thought, "I'm just going to crawl up there and go to sleep. And when she comes in the morning, I'll just tell her I fell asleep watching TV on the couch, and that's how it ended. She won't know." So the next morning, he awakened to the sound of the phone ringing. It was kind of late morning. It was a Saturday. They weren't getting up early. He could barely pry his drunk, hungover eyes open. Heard his wife talking on the phone and said, "Yes, I understand. Yes, we will take care of that. No, not a problem. We'll get it covered." And he heard her walking through the house toward the living room, and she said, "You went to the bar and stayed too long and got filthy drunk last night, didn't you?" No, he said, "I came home earlier than usual, and I laid down here on the sofa, and I've been watching TV, and I set the timer, and it shut off, and I just decided to sleep here all night." She said, "I know that's not true." He said, "How would you know that's not true? You were asleep when I came in." She said, "Well, that phone call was from the bartender, and he told me that you stayed there too late last night and you were really drunk when you left. How would he know anything about me being drunk?" She said, "Well, he told me you were drunk enough that when you left the bar, you forgot your wheelchair." Okay, well, enough of that. We'll try